it's Craig from Scratch Golf Life. In my last video, I took my brand new PXG irons out on the golf course for the very first time. Absolutely loved it, really pleased with how that went for the first time hitting them out on the real golf course. But now I need to find out how far those irons go. I need to know my distances. I need to know if there's any worrying gaps between my irons. And the best way to do that, if you've got a Skytrak Launch Monitor, is to use the bag mapping tool. So today we're going to bag map my new set of irons and see how they're looking. Okay, let's get cracking. Right, so bag mapping your set with Skytrak. I think it's one of the best features of the whole Skytrak software. It's one that I use quite a lot. Certainly when you get a new set of irons like I have, it's absolutely invaluable that I can use this tool to find out exactly how far my irons go, because if you don't know how far your irons go or all your clubs go, then how can you expect to hit the right club out on the golf course? So let's go over to the software and show you how we do it. So we go into game improvement, bag mapping, and then that opens up the interface. And in here, I've already got it preset in and ready. Now, it's also important that I map the irons on either side of my new irons, so I see whether there's any worrying gaps between, in this case, my 52 and my new pitching wedge in the PXG, and also the 5-iron and the hybrid at the other end of the set. So I'm actually going to map the bag from my L wedge all the way through to my 3 hybrid, and that's got all of my new PXG irons sandwiched in between those clubs. So I've set all that up. Over here, you would put in all your presets. So I would normally say here to have 10 shots and use the best 8 selected. Now, I've actually already mapped my bag twice. I'll explain why soon. So in this case, I'm actually, because I don't want this video to go on forever, because when you do hit 10 shots with every club, it actually does take you a long time to do the whole process. So we're going to do 6 clubs using the best 5, intended gap of 12 yards with a gap tolerance of 2 yards. Then you click on apply, and then you're ready to start. So just a couple of things, or a few things first, it's really important when you're mapping your bag on the Skytrak. Number 1, use a new golf ball. You want a golf ball with absolute full compression. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, and probably one of the most important ones, is hit your shots at what feels like 95%. We're trying to get here a good mean distance for your clubs. You don't want to be hitting them as hard as possible, trying to get them as far as possible, because you're thinking, oh, I want these distances to show how far I can hit them. That's not the purpose. We want a good average distance with just a good golf swing of your golf clubs. And lastly, the third one is, if you do hit a really bad miss hit, then delete it and then hit the shot again, because what we want here is obviously a record of shots that I just hit really nicely with a really nice golf swing to make sure that we get that right information on how far the clubs go. Okay. That's it. I'm going to get cracking now and start to hit my bag. We're going to fast forward through this bit because it's going to go on for a long time and not going to be particularly interesting to you guys. So after I've hit all my clubs, done this bag mapping session, we'll get to the export screen. It shows you all the information, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay. Right, I've done my bag mapping session. I've gone all the way through my bag. A couple of other things just to mention is that you don't take this one session as gospel. You need to do at least 4 bag mapping sessions. At the end of every session, you can export the results. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you take an average of each club over those sessions, because you're going to hit it slightly differently each time. Sometimes you're going to come in here and you're just going to be absolutely nailing it. Other times you're going to be coming in and you're just going to be hitting it reasonably good, you know, so you need to get a good mean average across a number of sessions. So that's one thing. The other thing is, take your time and have a breather, you know, at least halfway through, because it does become a bit monotonous just hitting ball after ball after ball. And if you start to get a bit tired or a bit tight, you can start to make a few bad golf swings, you know, in the session. So if you get to a point where you're feeling that way, just stop, go and make a brew, come back with, you know, a bit of fresh impetus, and then carry on with your session. Okay, so let's get across and see the results. So, as you can see here, this is the overall report that you first get on the first page. And down here, on all these little coloured tabs at the bottom, you're wanting those to be as evenly spaced out as possible. So, I'm absolutely made up with the short iron. So the distance from my 52 to my pitching wedge is great. The pitching wedge to my 9 iron, again, you know, it's a little bit shallower than what I would have thought, but to be honest with you, I think I could have hit that 9 iron a bit better. And in the other sessions, you know, I'll probably hit the 9 iron better, and I'll get that mean average for the clubs. That's why, again, it's so important that you do a number of sessions and just not one. So that 9 iron is going to move, I think, a little bit more forward and be more centrally between the pitching wedge and the 8 iron. The one I am pleased about is the 8 iron to the 7 iron, because the 8 iron is the last iron in my set in the Tour spec in the PXGs, and the 7 iron is the first one in the P spec. Now, I was a little bit worried that the P spec was going to be a little bit more powerful iron, you know, have a bit higher ball speed, and there might be a worrying gap between the 8 and the 7 iron, but on the evidence of this, that's not going to be the case. 6 iron's fine. Again, the 5 iron, I don't think I hit the 5 iron particularly well, so again, do those 4 or 5 sessions, get that mean average. I'm pretty sure, I know I hit a 5 iron further than, what's it got here? Yeah, 178 yards, yeah, I mean, I know I hit a 5 iron further than that, so that's going to get nearer to 185 by the time I've done my 4 or 5 sessions. So that's it. You can go onto your next page, and then you've got a graph here showing, you know, pretty much where each iron ended up. Average club gap, 11.2 yards. That's good. That's what I'm after. There's a load of other information here that you can pick up. Interestingly, side angle tendency push, shot shape tendency today fade. Because I'm a drawer of the ball, that tells me that my swing wasn't quite absolutely on it today. So again, another reason that you make sure that you do those number of sessions. And then after that, it goes into each individual club and gives you all the data on each individual club. Now, the other thing I just want to mention before we sign off on this video is that you'll notice here that all the distances, if I go back to the start page, all the distances that are listed here, and if I go to each individual page, is carry. It's giving you a carry distance when it's mapping your bag. That is very important. You should be working on your carry distances. People tend to think about what they think of their overall distance, but it's the carry distance that's the most important, because if I'm playing a soft golf course, a Parkland soft golf course in early season, and it's hitting the green and it's stopping more or less dead, I'm needing to carry it all the way up to the flag or all the way up to the middle of the green. Yet when I get to the summer and I'm playing a links golf course and it's bouncing, and it's because it's so firm, it's bouncing on a good 5, 6, 7 yards before it's stopping. Well, obviously, I don't want to be pitching my club in the middle of the green there. I need to be pitching it around the front of the green. So having those distances in carry distance is really important, knowing your carry distances. And that's what the Skytrak bag mapping session is amazing at. Because trust me, once you've done 4 or 5 bag mapping sessions over a period of time of maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, you will have those irons absolutely dialed in on how far they go. Love it. Okay, that's it for today's video. Hope you're all well. Hope you've all had a great Christmas, and I will see you in the next video.